Hello everybody, happy Saturday. Lots of people joining the chat. Oliver, Odari, Corey, and Nick. Happy early birthday, Odari, to your son. I know that it's his birthday this weekend. Let me know if you got any exciting plans going for that. I did miss your stream this morning, unfortunately. Although that's starting to become a reoccurring thing. But I hope you have a great weekend. Where do I even begin? A little bit of a busy day today for me, but we're gonna try finishing up the plants today. I have not that much left to do on them. Oh, I should introduce myself. I'm Jack, UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, and donut connoisseur. But welcome everybody. Hey Gareth, how's it going? Anyways, we're gonna get into it. I'm hoping that we can finish the plants today, at least for the most part. I have a couple of decisions to make. Mostly, I'm going to be working on sort of like getting the shading and detail across mostly all the planters. I think all of the plants themselves is a good level of detail. I might revisit that Monstera plant one more time. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the way that everything looks. I do need to decide what we're going to be doing with the... Oh, Odaria says thanks. Yes, happy early birthday. I do have to decide what we're doing with the building, so let me just kind of switch screens so you can see what I'm talking about, so it makes a lot more sense. And I can close the window if it starts to get a little bit too much. I've got the window open currently, so. Katarina's here as well, and Stian. Stian has also been working on a little plant illustration. I don't have like a full shot to share with everybody, but once I do, and if Stian's okay with it, maybe next week. I haven't decided many things. I haven't decided if I'm streaming tomorrow yet. I don't think I am. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna be streaming, but I can if we want to. I haven't decided, honestly. I thought I was gonna have plans tomorrow, and it turns out that I actually don't, so there's that. But it might be nice to have a break since I have been on camera a lot this week. So, getting into it, this side is looking really great. This side is looking a little bit sad, although I have this giant plant hidden. Let me reset my workspace really quickly so I can find my layers panel. Reset Jack's workspace. Oh no, it's right here, duh. I don't need to. I do have this one hidden because it's massive and it takes up a lot of space. And it slows down my computer. Jen says, oof, gotta work a little then. I'm very happy with the direction it's going. Yeah! I'm glad you are taking the opportunity to kind of work alongside me. I know Allison also did some plants. Allison from the Illustrator Discord. I know Allison was watching my streams on YouTube. I think she had a question and I totally forgot to answer, so sorry about that, Allison. I'll try to get back to it when I get a moment. But what I wanted to ask is what we should do with the details on the building. Should I add anything else to the exterior of the building? Kind of just got left as it was. Let me go into this. I want to get... Let's do... Copy all of these, paste in front, merge them. Release this, compound path. Delete that. And maybe if we have a little bit of time at the end, we can explore the recolor, generative recolor on this. I kept hinting at it before, that maybe I would try just a plain recolor, but it might be cool to try a generative recolor on this. Towards the end of the stream, I'm thinking. Okay, let me just double check as how I was doing this. You're wondering if it can handle such a complex illustration. Well, we're gonna find out. There's only one way to find out, and that's to try it. At least that's my opinion. Haven't tried that out yet. We'll see how it goes. Let me undo this. I also want to add a little bit of a shadow here. We're going to do a darker color. Let's release this compound path. And I'm going to pull this up. There we go. And I'm also going to pull this up. There we go. There's kind of my pot. And we're just going to go through and do that kind of on all of these. Let's add a little bit of shading. So I'm going to pull these out, and we're going to pull this up. Object path, outline this stroke, merge it. I should have kept that other shape, but that's okay. We're going to copy and paste, merge these, and I'm going to cut this out. Color. I just want to add a little bit of plant shadowing. I started to do it over here and I kind of liked it, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that. Not a lot to each of these. It says the purple and light green ones still blow my mind every time you move them onto the screen. Well, I'm glad you like them. Hang on a second. There we go. These are sort of the last minute details that are gonna make everything kind of come together and have nice dimension. Just little details. Alright, let's go up here. I'm gonna make this 25. I don't know that I want it to be that strong. There we go. I'm fine with the way all of that looks. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna copy all of these. Stian says you do this really quick, really adds another dimension to the illustration. Yeah, that's the goal, is like the little, so this is kind of like the fun part for me. Now we have our, let's do this. Nick needs a coleus plant. Let's make sure our transparency is set to normal. I'm just gonna leave this really quickly because I want to grab this object. And we're gonna do an expand appearance. I'm gonna cut that out, and then I've been really digging using this little finder. It helps me like isolate these paths a lot quicker for stuff like this. I'm gonna make these, let's see, I want to make these a single compound path. There we go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I know that I'm going a little bit fast because we're in like the final countdown here. Let's take a look at that. There we go. Got like a little bit of shadow on there. And then I'll do the same thing with my group. These. Yoann also has been collecting lots of, Yoann has also been collecting lots of plants lately. Quite the plant collector. I would like to grab this color, please. It's okay. Alright. Go. 50. I think I reversed these. I actually want this to be 25. And I want my group here to be... Okay. Looking good. Nick needs cats and won't dive bomb things hanging from the ceiling. Oh, Dar says, I have to replant my cucumber plant today. I never grew them before and I didn't know that's a vine-type plant. It's out of control. Yes. Cucumbers will grow like zucchini. If you've ever grown zucchini, they will, like, explode, and they are a vine, and they grow like crazy. You also have to be careful with cucumbers in that, like, they get really, really big, and they climb, and you will lose cucumbers in there. Like, you'll have to go, like, searching to make sure you catch them all, because they would be like, not ready, not ready, not ready. They're like bananas, right? And that, like, they're not ready until they're, like, all of a sudden they're ready for, like, 5 seconds, and then they're you know, overgrown or over whatever it is when plants go too long. Stian says, yes, since the series started, I've gotten 2 succulents, 1 Monstera, 1 Strelitzia. Oh, I like the name of that one. And another green plant, I'm not sure what it's called. Otari says, oh my god. Yeah, Stian, quite the plant collector now. And they're all beautiful. I really liked the last one that you shared, Stian, in the Discord with, like, the white vase. It looked very classy. Alright, and then let me think about how I want to do this one. Let's isolate this group. I'm gonna try this is gonna be, let's isolate this, let's group this, copy, isolate this. And I'm gonna do a divide on this. The reason I'm doing that is so that I get individual sections that are split out from sort of the whole. I'm making it this color so I can see them. And these are going to be my shadows. And then over here I'll do highlights. let's just do one side. Group. Alright, we're gonna put this underneath the dashed lines. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. Now this side's got a little bit of shading. Yeah, Stian says, I was expecting a card at most, and they went out and got me one of the plants I talked about getting it. Yes, your coworkers got it for me since you were leaving. I hope you were leaving on good terms, Stian. I hope you're onward and upward to better things. I'm gonna do one more thing here. I'm actually gonna copy piece in front and I'm gonna merge all of these. Oh, nope, I'm gonna outline these first. I'm gonna merge them. I'm gonna make kind of like an oval shape here. I'm gonna make this a little bit of a shadow. This one. There we go. Hey, Bliss! Bliss is saying hello and going off for a quick walk. Be back in a few. Enjoy your walk, Bliss. Stianza is giving me the name of it. Zamioculus Zanzibar Gem is the name of the plant. It looked very like elegant is the word I'm looking for. Oh, Bliss says that's too cute with the air plant. Thanks. Stian says thanks. Yes, it's has a really good work environment, so it's really just getting the communications or advertisement switching since this is more of a no skills job. Okay, well. That's a good thing. It's always kind of sad to leave someplace that you really enjoyed, but it sounds like it's kind of all for the best. I'm going to do one more thing here while I see it, and that's going to be adding a little bit of a shadow down here. There we go. We could also, well, I guess, keep going back and forth, but I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow from the tree, I think, too. We'll see. Oh, I hate when it joins like that. There we go. In front, and then we'll just merge them. So now we've got like a little bit of the shadow from the tree. Let me look up a Monstera plant again. I'm just taking a look at these and wondering if I need to add any more details. Just kind of doing one last look over. I am like mildly tempted to add a little bit of a highlight to these. Let's see here. We're gonna pull this up. Maybe let's do too much. Let's see, I'm gonna add these in sort of over top, and then I'll see if I want to like, A, if I want to keep them, and B, kind of like masking them. Yes or no? Yoann likes it. Alright, we'll keep it for now. I don't want it to be too much. I do think it helps kind of better explain the sort of look and feel of the leaves. I will mask it to the shape of the leaves though. I'm not gonna add it to all of them. I don't really know how I feel about this one. Earlier today, Corey was asking me what my plans were for this illustration, aside from like obviously when I finish it I plan on doing a subscriber project with the art we did for this, but I don't know that I have thought about how I want, like if I have any plans. Let me know if you'd like to see this. Like Corey asked if I was gonna do like a print. I haven't really thought about it. Alright, now you can see that fortunately I've got all these already grouped. All of my plants, so it makes it a little bit easier in terms of organization. So we're gonna open up this layer. Let's make a big group of all of the behind leaves. Let's make a group of all of the front leaves. Let's paste this in front, and then what I'm gonna do, copy, paste in front, object, expand appearance, and we're just gonna go to object, path, outline, stroke, merge everything all together. I'm gonna ungroup this. This does not want to merge. Okay, we don't need that. Compound path, release, and make. And then I'm gonna make that a clipping mask. And now you can see that it kind of cuts the highlights so they don't run through. You can also, it would do great as a poster. Stian says it could also work as a banner ad online for a plant shop. That's a good idea. I feel like I don't have the capacity to do something like this, but this would be really nice, like notebook cover. You know what I mean? Like a full wrap. So like this would be a vertical format. I don't know, like whatever orientation they are, and it would wrap front all the way around to the back. Kind of my thoughts, but those are expensive. As Corey knows, to get printed. I could do sort of my own, I could do like, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. They could be stickers as well, and then you could put them on whatever you wanted. Yes and yes. Stian is here for it. Alright, let me see how I... Okay, so I did that. This section's going to be a little bit more complicated because I want to make some shadowing from the plants that are in front, kind of behind the other plants. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So we're going to find this guy here. We're going to copy and paste the whole group. Object. We'll do an expand appearance. No, we don't. Yeah, we need to. Alright, we're going to go here. We're going to go to object. Path. Outline stroke. We're going to merge this whole thing. And then I'm going to grab my arbitrary plant, isolate it, we're going to make this, let's go with this dark gray. I'm not going to merge the whole pot together here. And we're going to cut this and see how it looks. Alright, I think I accidentally lost my... There we go. Now I've got a little bit of a shadow there from the plant in front. And we'll also go in here, grab these specific leaves. Copy them, paste in front, object, expand appearance, merge them together, this. Unloop. We're gonna make a compound path. Cut this shape out and copy this. I have both of these. I'm going to move them in front of my pot here and behind my plant. And I need to add... Alright, let's go here. We need to add some shading detail to this. We're going to object, path, offset path. Okay, I'm just gonna pull this over 25. And then I'm actually gonna pull this in a little bit more. The highlight on this is gonna be kind of like awkwardly in the middle. Ashraffle's here. Welcome, Ashraffle. How is your day going? I'm gonna make this darker. Not what I wanted. Hold on, give me a sec to think about this. Okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit. I'm gonna round this out. There we go. There's that pot done. Might want to bring the highlight down on this even further because it's supposed to be like a concrete planter, so it wouldn't be very like, it wouldn't have a strong highlight. This could actually be really dull. Oh, that's better. This could probably also come down. There we go. I'm gonna zoom in on this one, making our way across. I'm actually gonna grab this whole plant. I'm gonna isolate this plant here, and we're gonna expand this. Merge everything together. Okay. Go. I want a little bit of this creep in. Good. I'm gonna make this 50. Stian's headed out. Thanks for hanging out for a bit, Stian. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. if I don't see you tomorrow. I don't know if anybody, that was kind of going to be my question to you all. I don't know that there's going to be a ton of people. I'm going to simplify this because that's a lot of points. No, we do not need that. What is happening? Oh, you know, I have to select the whole thing. Object, path, simplify. There we go. I feel like I don't have confirmation on this, but I do feel like the path simplification also feels like it got an update, but that could just be me. Feels like it also got an update. What is happening? Alright, let's isolate this path. Copy it. I might have some kind of weird scaling thing going on. Okay, when this happens, go to your preferences and make sure you've got scale corners turned on, I think is the issue. There we go. If I recall correctly. And I did. Add like a little bit of a highlight here, making sure that I kind of match what I did with the other ones. Copy and paste. Paste again. It's kind of one of those annoying things that happens. There we go. And then grab these little guys here. I only really need these. Let's paste it kind of in front of this. I'm gonna group all of this together now. And let's put this. Why is this in front? Oh, that's weird. Let's make sure that we are not using our little group there. We want to put this here. I'm not sure why this is all grouped. Let's go back out. See what's going on here. Oh, I must have accidentally duplicated that. Melissa, welcome! How's it going? Hope you're having a great weekend. If anybody's just joining, I'm Jack. I am a full-time UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, and big fan of donuts in this community. Let me know if you have any questions. I love answering anybody's questions that they have about Illustrator, which is my primary love, I guess. I'm a big Illustrator person, so. But we are going to try to get to that recolor stuff. I'm hoping. Cross your fingers that I can get to it for the end of the stream. That is my goal. I think this would be a really cool one to do with that. There we go. It's just little details like this that help just give everything a lot of depth. And consistency. We're trying to go across and make sure everything's not only got a lot of depth to it, but it's also consistent. Stylistically, everything feels like it has the same level of shading and detail on it. Nothing feels overly detailed or overly simplified. These plants feel like they could all live together. thin highlight line here. Might not even be able to see it. That's okay. I'll know it's there. We're gonna pull this a little bit farther over, and then let's grab this as well. I think that looks better. Okay, this plant is up next, our snake plant. Ooh, it looks like the sun is starting to have an impact. Let's see if we can get my face back. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Did anybody catch the stream that I did this week with Cody for it was Pride Week this weekend. It'll be live, and Cody was doing a t-shirt design in Illustrator as well. Let me know what you thought of that. I thought it was a fun stream. Okay, we're good. I kind of want the shading on this one to sort of be like really sharp. I haven't decided. We'll see how this looks. You know what I mean? Let's make it really... something like that. Even do like a second layer to this. Maybe that's too much. And then I'll do the same thing here with the highlights. It's really intense. And then I'll do one that kind of goes just kind of straight across. We'll make this 25. I kind of like that. What do you think? I can try and match the angle with the bottom a bit better. Kind of a funky way to shade that pot. Kind of like it. Myra, let me know how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The kind words. Once again, I've totally forgotten. We're about halfway through. I'm gonna stream for about 2 hours, so I will finish up in about an hour. And I totally forgot to turn on my notifications again. So thank you for the follow, Myra, and also Assad. So I'm gonna do a little thanks for the follow. Donuts. Donut box. For y'all. Okay, now we are on to this. I'm gonna have to be a little bit cautious here, because adding the shading to this one could quickly sort of overwhelm the pot and make it really, really dark. But I do think that it's looking very flat to me, and it does need some shading and depth added to it. So let's start with, I think I already have. So we've got some just gonna copy and paste this. I only want the stuff that's in front. So I'm gonna paste this in front just so I can kind of see it. I'm gonna go to Object, Path. I'm gonna expand Appearance first. We obviously are gonna get 1,000,000 points. Outline of stroke. And then we're gonna merge it. But we're not going to keep all of this. So, this is chaotic. Oh, gosh. Okay. There we go. So now we've got kind of like the front there. I am going to go and simplify this path. Cut down on the number of points quite a bit. The shadow doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, it wouldn't be. So that's not a huge deal to me. And I am going to see what this looks like. I love that little search. I'm going to be honest with you. That's interesting. Okay, let's go find it. And we're gonna put it in front of the pot. I just want to see what this looks like. Thank you, Corey, for sharing all the links. Appreciate you. If anybody wants to keep up with me, those are all the places you can find my work. Behance and the subscriptions as well, which this is going to be a subscriber project. I'm going to share the art assets with everybody who's a subscriber, because a lot of people have shown interest in the brushes. One thing I'm going to do just to clean this up, I'm going to get rid of the shadow that's kind of underneath here, since it's really not necessary. And it just kind of makes it look weird. So I'm just going to cut that out. And then we're going to select both of these. Copy, paste in front, merge. Grab this crazy group here. There's some like weirdness going on. I'm going to get rid of. Ungroup it. Paste in front. And then we're going to just cut this whole thing. Make this our darker color. Alright, so now we've got a little bit of dimension. You can see where the cacti come down over top. I'm going to do a similar thing with these line work like we've been doing. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, Merge. I'm going to make these have the same color, but these are going to be slightly lighter at only 25%. We're going to bring it underneath. Actually, we are going to bring it up to 50 because I don't like the way that the color looks. I think it needs to be darker. Okay, and, alright, that looks good to me. We're going to go here, copy this in front, and I just want to cut this because I don't want the shadows to extend beyond the edges. Myra says, I'm from Brazil and I struggle a lot to use Illustrator. I know very little about the tools, but I click on all the tools until I find the right ones. Well, there's nothing wrong with that as a way to learn, so you shouldn't feel ashamed. It's a great way to kind of, I always think it's better to dive in, you know, dive into the pool and practice and kind of explore to see what all the tools do, and sort of, there's like that methodology of learning that I have I'm blanking on. What is it? Called? I think it's called Bloom's Taxonomy. I think it's called Bloom's Taxonomy. So Bloom's Taxonomy, obviously some kind of like educator, came up with this like pyramid that explains that like there are different ways of learning things, and some of them have a higher like retention rate than others, and so the top of the pyramid is create, and the bottom of the pyramid is remember. So we have remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. And create is actually the highest level of like learning comprehension. So if you are creating, producing new things, practicing, that's actually like the best way to like retain the information versus just kind of like reading something. It's a lot more difficult to like remember it. So that's actually like a really great way to learn a new skill, is to just kind of dive in and start using it. But I will also recommend that if you need help just with some, you know, basics or some like, the Illustrator challenges are a great way. There's a lot of streams on Behance. There's a lot of past Illustrator challenges. The Illustrator Discord is also another great place. You can post questions there if you need help with specific things. If you get stuck on something, there's a great community to reach out to and learn from. But the challenges are also awesome because they give you a small little prompts to work from. Like we've done little recipe cards, we've done little logos before, we've done 3D stuff. So if you go check out the Illustrator challenges, there's some like really basic ones and some more advanced. So there's a hierarchy of like different levels, skill levels, you know, that you can practice. But I think they're approachable from a beginner standpoint in general. Also, I think people forget about the Illustrator tutorials on the Illustrator website are really, really good. If you go to like the Adobe help tutorials, there's actually like a really nice intro walkthrough. But also, one of my favorite panels, and one that is underutilized in my opinion, is the Discover panel. So if you go to the upper right up here, this little magnifying glass that's next to Share, this is the Discover panel, and I actually use this all the time, even though you think I'm like a pro and know everything. I don't. If I lose track of a tool, because there's a lot of tools in Illustrator, and a lot of them are kind of hidden behind other tools. So, for example, if I want to use Live Paint and I just like have no idea which one it's nested under, I can just go over here and I can start to type in Live Paint, and I can actually click on, see all results. Where is it? yeah, so live paint bucket. Just type live paint bucket. There we go. It'll actually highlight in the interface like where the tool is. So let's say let's go with something a little simpler. Let's go with curvature pen tool. Now I know this you have to like have a little bit of an understanding of like what the names of the tools are. But if you don't know as well, like round shape, right? It's gonna try and give you different options based on what you've wrote. That can kind of help. So you can type in very generic things as well, and it's like asking if you want to use the reshape tool, or asking you if you want to actually use the round corners. Like what it tries to like help you find the right the thing that you're kind of looking to do. So I don't know. I find that to be really helpful, and I always recommend it to people who are new to Illustrator as a way to navigate the interface if you do just kind of want to dive in, like I said. Thank you, Corey, for sharing the links to the Illustrator challenges. This did not offset. Oh, it's because I offset it too much. Okay. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a highlight here. Corey said Montessori. Good guess. A similar kind of like mindset. You know what I mean? Montessori is also like a methodology that uses like learning by doing or learning by kind of like exploration. I think 50 is too much. And then I'll just pull this over and add another highlight. And I'm always here to answer questions if you have any. I'm happy to help if I can. I've talked about this a little bit before on my stream, but I've been using Illustrator for a really long time, over a decade now. And so I don't want you to feel like when you see me do things like, you know, oh man, I'm never going to be at that level. It's really important to know that like I have been doing this for a really long time, and so please don't feel intimidated. I know that it takes time to kind of like develop the skills in the tool. I have not always, you know, I didn't start out the gate working this fast. It's taken a lot of time to develop my workflows in Illustrator, so alrighty, we are moving quite nicely along here. I'm waiting to unhide this plant to the end. Syed is offering some advice as well. Always nice to get some feedback from the community on the tools or the resources that you like as well, so feel free to share them in the chat if you've got any Illustrator tutorials that you like. Syed's asking about my computer specs. I'm not really gonna go through like all of the details about my computer. But I'm actually, Syed, working on 2 computers. So currently what's running Illustrator is a Mac. So I have an M1 MacBook Pro is running Illustrator. So you can look up the general specs for that. And then I'm streaming off of my PCs, or my Windows machine. So, but that's not what's running Illustrator right now. That's just what's running my live stream. If that helps you. If that helps you at all. There is a place also on the Adobe website if you are interested in technical information like that, where you can look up the product requirements. So you can look up sort of the minimum requirements, system requirements needed to run Illustrator. All of the Adobe software has that if you want to check it out. I just don't have the link handy, but it's very easy to kind of like do a quick search and find that information if you want to look it up. Everybody's saying hi to Bliss. Bliss is back. How are you doing, Bliss? I hope your walk was enjoyable. Thank you, Corey, for sharing that link to the system requirements. If you are looking for them. Corey so kindly just shared. Bliss says, it was, I needed to get out of the house. Yeah, it's been, I don't know how it's been by you, Bliss, but it's been super, like, gloomy over here. It's been like 2 weeks of just like, the week before we had all of the smoke from the wildfires in Canada, and so you couldn't go outside because of the air quality alerts. And then after all of that, I mean, it's still in the like unhealthy range, but immediately following that, it's been like rainy, cold. And so we've all just been like trapped inside because the weather's been so ugh. It's been like, oh, we're gonna have air quality alerts, and then it's gonna be rainy and cold, and it's just now starting to climb out of the like gloominess. But we'll see. Hopefully the air quality improves, because it's definitely been kind of like a sad start to the summer, unfortunately. Alright, this is the one that I messed up right before I got off stream, so... Oh, do I have like a what is this copy? I must have like a duplicate that I made before I started. Well, we don't need that anymore. Let's just delete that. What I do need is the branches. Alright, so thanks to the words, it's very inspiring for me. I just started graphic design college and was looking for inspiration for my visual identity projects. Stop searching to see your live. Never watched live on Behance before. That's awesome! First of all, congratulations on starting college and also starting your own kind of branding. It sounds like you're working on like a personal brand project. There are tons of amazing streamers here on Behance. On the weekends, we usually have Umacorn and Odari who stream on Saturdays and Sundays with me. And then during the week, there's all of the Adobe live streams. So if you take a look at the live chat tab, you're going to see the schedule for next week for Adobe Live. I'm not sure. I haven't taken a look to see if there's any kind of branding stuff for next week. But you can go check out the schedule. So those will be the streams that are going to be next week, starting on Monday. There will be Looks like we got some After Effects. There's an Adobe Express bootcamp, social media videos. It looks like Evan Abrams is going to be back on Adobe Live. There will be on the 19th, or it may actually, it depends on your time zone. There will be a hand lettering in Illustrator on Adobe Live. A couple of hand lettering streams, it looks like. So those could work for kind of like a personal brand. And then on the 21st, there's going to be a logo stream in Illustrator and Photoshop. So if you want to go check those out, those would probably be a great place to start getting some inspiration. But yeah, there are streams literally all week that you can catch on Adobe Live. And like personal Behance streamers like me who are just kind of sharing their process. I did just finish a branding project that was a huge undertaking here. For Parasile Coffee, which is the local coffee roaster. So you just kind of missed that, unfortunately. But, ooh, it's going to do one of those. Okay, when this happens, so I'm trying to make a brush that I have expanded to get all those individual shapes. Obviously, it's a lot right now. But I need to get rid of all of these little clipping masks that I made. So if I just select one and I go to select same appearance, it's going to select all the ones that have no fill and stroke. Oh, actually, let's go back. Let's go select same fill and stroke. And we'll just delete those out. And then we're going to just merge them. So we can get our solid shape here. I'm going to release this compound path. I don't really need all the little bits inside. They're not important. And we'll remake it. Well, I hope you're enjoying the streams here on Behance. I also don't need the bottom. So what I'm doing with this shape is I'm just making those shadows again, like we have been doing. So we're gonna grab a darker color. I'm just gonna put this right in front of this shape. Illustrator's doing a thing. I don't know what happened there. I'm just gonna undo. Fayaz, thank you so much for the follow. While my computer thinks about what it needs to do, I'm gonna go ahead and do a thank you for the follow. Looks like I accidentally copied or cut the brush instead of the shape that I wanted to, so it's gonna take a minute to just kind of reapply those. And I don't want to make the mistake that I made last time, which is where I hit that stop and then it didn't re-render those, and then I had a whole thing to sort out. So we're just going to let it do its thing. I'm going to undo cutting this shape, redo cutting this shape, and we're going to go into our layer that has our pot here. I'm actually gonna lock my layer on top as well. Corey's saying, what happened? Did it fall into another dimension? It didn't. So the last stream, if you'll remember at the end, to try and like speed it up, I told it to stop rendering the art brushes. But when I did that, it just like stripped all of the brushes out of this, and I had to reapply them essentially. So, lesson learned. Decided that I wasn't going to do that this time. And, yeah. I had to reapply them after the stream. And I was salty about it. so now we've got our little shape here. We're just gonna put it behind our lines. It's gonna go in front of the, there we go. Actually, it's gonna go in front of those, okay. And I'm gonna do a similar type of a thing with the lines I did before. I'm gonna copy all of these. Paste in front. Move them a little bit. Outline stroke. Merge them. And I'm gonna grab the same here. Paste in front. Nope. These are gonna go behind. Just like that. Myra's saying, thanks, I'll try to watch my lives here on Behance. Your live is the first, so I'll stay here for now. Because I love watching you. Me and Photoshop is a relationship of more hate than love. I mean, I get it. I actually, I don't hate Photoshop, but I am definitely more of an Illustrator fan, and you know, everybody has their own, you know, likes, dislikes, etc. But if you are interested, you can also go to, I think on the Adobe Live schedule, let me see if I can pull it up really quickly and just kind of show you what that live page looks like. You can actually do a little subscribe. You can follow me here up on Behance above the chat. You can, if you just tap that little follow. But also, which I believe you did follow me, so yes. But Jean, thank you for the follow. Hang on, let me find the page for you because I want to show you what it looks like. Thanks for the follow, Jean. If I hop over here, first of all, you're gonna see me hanging out, and Umacorn's joining. Hello, Umacorn. But if you scroll down here to the Adobe Live schedule, you just have to hit this little subscribe, and you'll get notified about the live streams on Adobe Live. So, if you are interested in catching some of these streams next week, just go and hit that button there. Like I said, I would recommend maybe this one with Carlos about designing a logo. Or where was it? I feel like I saw another Illustrator logo design stream. Oh, some of these hand lettering ones. Like this one might be interesting for you to check out as well. Those are going to be next week. Adobe Live doesn't stream on the weekends. It's only during the weekday, so. And we've got some great streamers here in the chat. Like I mentioned before, we've got Umacorn streams on the weekends. We've got Odari streams on the weekends. Gareth, and Bliss. Bliss is also a streamer here on Behance. So be sure to go and check out all of their work and go follow them as well. They're all doing cool stuff. Umacorn's always learning new things. Umacorn's also big into the Illustrator. Yeah, Umacorn says, I see you got brushes fixed. We were just talking about that. Corey was asking me if they went into another dimension, and I said no, they just did not, they just went away temporarily, and I was sad. But we got it sorted, so ultimately that's all that matters. Is they're fixed now. They've come back. They've decided they want to hang out with me again. And we're just going through and we're adding some dimension to really trying to finish this up. So we've really gone through and made sure to have everything feel consistent in terms of the level of detail. So we've got this side really kind of finished out. This side's looking good. This side looks a little bit odd right now because I don't have that other plant in there, but that's because it just eats up a lot of, it's a very heavy plant. So I'm going to save that one for last. I'm going to handle this one, these guys, and then we'll get to that plant over there. And that should take us through all of the major details on the plants. But like I said, if you guys have any suggestions for what we should do with the exterior here, or you think it's fine just keeping it minimal, let me know. I kind of like wanted to leave that out and focus on getting all of these plants filled in here, so that kind of got left the way it was in kind of our initial sketch. So Unicorn says the purple flowers look great, by the way. These are the African violets, and I don't remember who requested them. I think we actually did a really good job getting mostly everybody's plant requests in here. If I missed yours, I am terribly sorry. It was not intentional. Alright, I'm gonna hide all of this so that I can just see this group here. And I really only want, okay, there we go, and I'm gonna merge these. I just want this shape here for the shadow. Oliver says African violets would be me. There we go. So I think we got everybody's plants in. And welcome back, Peter. The plants are going good. This is ideally, for me, the last day that we're gonna work on this, the plants. So I'm hoping to be done with it after this. Not that I don't, love the plants, but I feel like 10 streams of plants is enough. And it's time to move on to new projects. So we're just going through and doing a final pass to get everything finished up. And just doing like some consistency. Adding some consistency to everything. The shading and details and all of that. There we go. So that's kind of giving you an overview of, we've gotten everything in. Shading, went back and updated the Monstera plant, added the same level of detail and shading to everything over here. Moving across. Gotta finish up these little air plants. And then I've got to deal with the big plant, which I'm saving for last because it's massive. But my question to you all, Peter and everybody else in the chat, is what do we do with the remaining lost my train of thought. Group both of these. The remaining building on the exterior. So I'm trying to figure out if that needs any more details added to it. Since we just kind of left that alone while we worked on the plants, and I don't know if I'm wondering if, like, I don't think it needs to I don't think we go with, like, shading on the building. But I'm wondering if we add some, like, maybe like some line work or something on the exterior. So these are all like little shadows, like cast shadows, or what I'm creating here essentially. Not this one. An awning? That's an interesting idea. We could try that. How do I do this? on the other side. Might have just left it. Actually, let's do one more. Here. Go. Cool glasses, by the way. Oh, it might just be because I have my window open, and so I'm getting a lot of sun. I actually had to close it because it was starting to really have an effect on my lighting, so. But thank you. I'm gonna do the same thing I did before and just add the same like little bit of a circle here. Object, path, outline stroke, merge, cut this away, make sure I grab the same one over here. There we go. Alright, this is where I get lazy now. I'm wondering if I can just replace these. I did use the same color, so select same, fill color, and see if we can make it blue. And these should all be the same. There we go. And I'll just make it the same size and put it in place. Oh, I do need to turn on scale strokes and effects. Go. Cheating it. Oh, wrong thing. But I'm glad you like my glasses. Nope. Make sure I have my fill brought to the front. And then we'll just make this the same size and move it into place. And then I'll add that little bit of shading to the bottom on both of these plants. I love the Myra's asking, I love the cactus with the flowers. How did you do that? If you go back, I've got in my, on my Behance, if you go to the live tab on my personal Behance, you can find all the past streams. I've also got links to the past streams in the description. So if you look in the description for this video right below, you're going to find all of those past streams as well. But so you can go and watch me actually make this. All 10 of these streams, yes, we're on number 10. You can see how I created this start to finish on the live stream. So if you were interested in going and kind of watching that process, but we used brushes. So, and I'm going to give those brushes actually to subscribers once we finish out this project completely. But I made these little flowers using the radial repeat. So we just drew out a simple shape. If you're asking about the flowers specifically, I drew out a simple shape. Let's grab this color. And I made a copy. I pasted here inside, something like this. I might have used an offset path. I don't remember. Corey's saying that I need to turn up my music. Let's see. Let me know if that's working. So I've got this group, and we're gonna go to object path, or object repeat radial. And you can use these little widgets to kind of bring them closer or farther apart. I actually just like to like scale them down and then scale them up. You know, just kind of move them into place. And so I did one repeat, copy and paste. You know, I think I rotated it. And I might have like darkened it a bit, like went in and edited the colors. Made this like, you know, dark. And maybe like something like this. You get the idea though, right? Like we're making this a little bit darker. And then I just added a shape right over top for the center. You know, something like this. And then we're almost done, I promise. And then in order to get everything lined up, one thing that you'll see me do a lot in the previous streams is, because this is getting very heavy, I'm just going to expand everything. I'm going to group it. How I got them kind of like in position is I actually just use the free transform tools. So if we kind of zoom in here, this is what the free transform tool looks like. We've got a couple of options. The first one is just going to be the generic free transform, and it lets you skew things. So you can kind of like move things around in perspective a little bit. And if you wanted to, you could also add a little bit more perspective with this. I think it's called the perspective distort. Yeah, you can grab the corners and like pull things in perspective. I find this to be a really easy way for me to kind of visualize what things look like in perspective. And so that's what I did in order to get them kind of lined up on the individual planes here. You can see how this one's kind of like has top perspective. These are kind of like look like they're placed along the sides. And then for the actual cactus, we just take a minute here. I'll just make like one branch. There we go. And we're gonna change this to be green. We should have had the. And I actually just increased the stroke weight. So we'll bring this up. Computer's doing a little bit of slowdown. Let me just close out my browser there. Alright, so let's say that's our like branch of our cactus, right? And then what I did in order to add over top the spines is I actually took this, duplicated it, and I went to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, deleted the top and bottom, and I pasted one more line in front. Maybe I did a blend. I might have done a blend. Let's grab both of these. Object, blend, make. Go to Object, blend, blend options. I want to make sure I have it set to 1. I might need to reset my. Well, either way, that's how I did it. I don't know, my computer seems to be having a bit of a time right now. And then we're gonna go to Object, Blend, Expand. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 lines. And then I made a little brush for the spines. And this is just the pattern brush. And I'm not gonna go through all of how we created this, but it's basically just we made the single shape for the spikes, and then I'm just letting the pattern brush apply it to create the little cactus design. So that's how we did that. Obviously there's a little bit more going on there with shading and detail, but there you go. Let me know if the music's getting too loud, but I do want to make sure that I do have a fan going in here because, like I said, it's getting warmer again. Alright, I'm gonna go in now to my other air plant. I'm gonna isolate this. And we're just gonna, I don't want to get like the whole edge on this. You can see there's like a little branching arm that I want to kind of avoid. I'm gonna bring this down, copy and paste, object, path, outline stroke, merge everything, just cut that away, and why it's having a hard time with this. Oh, so I'm using the wrong one. There we go. I'm just gonna grab this. You thought so Myra thought the flowers were made with a zigzag effect. You could use a star or a zigzag as well. It just wouldn't have the same like round edges. So Peter's saying they make great Christmas or tree ornaments. I think, if I recall, we might have used the same technique when we did the Christmas tree ornaments Illustrator challenge. We did some like snowflake ornaments, and I might have used a similar technique. Oh, that's why it's so slow. I accidentally unhid this beast. Yeah, this plant here is quite intense with the art brushes that I used on it. So unfortunately, it really slows down my computer, but we do have to edit this one. It's kind of the last one that we have to deal with, getting the shading on the basket. So Peter's saying I missed that class. That's okay. You know, there are a lot of them. I always say that, like, you don't have to feel, I think people feel pressured to do all of the challenges. You don't have to do all the challenges. You really only have to, like, if you want to do the challenges, first of all, you only really have to do the ones that you enjoy or that interest you, or, you know, you might try something and get, you know, a little ways into it and realize, like, this isn't really for me, or I don't really have time for this, and that's fine. You know, everybody's kind of like got busy lives, so, and that includes me. I don't do many of the challenges, although I do host them, so I guess it's a little bit different. But if you know, I do watch them, and sometimes just kind of having the streams on, that's one great thing about all these live streams, is you can kind of have them on in the background and just kind of get information by osmosis. Like, I probably know more about things like Premiere and I don't know, Lightroom, like programs I don't use a lot, but like there are streams about them on Behance, so I just kind of like, I don't know where this path is. Sorry, I'm trying to find this like missing path. Oh, there it is. They're not programs that I particularly use on a regular basis, but I feel like I could probably navigate my way around them. Garrett's saying, until I did some of the challenges, I had a love-hate relationship with Illustrator. It loved making me hate it. I think it's just a different mindset, and I think that people have a hard time wrapping their head around that, like, one of the biggest things that people struggle with is, like, they go to try and use the eraser tool, expecting that they can just kind of, like, remove a part of a shape. Like, when you're working in Photoshop, you can just kind of, like, erase something, and, like, wherever you erase, just kind of erases pixels, right? But because Illustrator is vector instead of raster, you're dealing with shapes, and so the way that you kind of have to remove things is you have to literally, how I'm doing it with the way that I'm kind of creating some of these shadows and highlights, you have to like cut. So like you have to imagine that it's almost like layering paper, right? So if you imagine how you would create an illustration by layering up pieces of paper, you would have to cut those shapes out for the shadows and highlights. And so you have to actually make those things be physical shapes that have their own, colors, instead of just kind of being able to like paint or erase things out. Everything is just shape-based vectors, and so you have to like cut things, and like it's just a different kind of workflow. And some people like me love it, and then there are other people that don't love it, and that's fair. That's why there's so many tools, and like Myra said, there are so many different ways to use the tools. Whenever somebody asks me, like, how do I draw this? It's like, well, there are a lot of ways. There are a lot of ways to approach that. It all depends on, like, what your end goal is. So, like, I would do things differently depending on if I was gonna animate this, I would set up my file a certain way. If I was gonna print this, I would set up my file a certain way. I would do things a certain way. If I was working on a project that I knew needed to might have a lot of changes, so like a branding project, I would make sure that I worked very non-destructively and, keep a lot of copies of things and utilize the appearance panel so that I could keep everything as like live and editable as possible until the very end. So really it just depends on what your end goal is, how you kind of work through. And that's where knowing the tools and knowing those multiple ways of doing things is really, really important. Because there are infinite ways, but you might have to think about like, well, what's going to make the most sense for what I'm trying to do, for the thing that I'm trying to make. I could draw, for example, this cactus. There are a million ways that I could have done this, for example, or the burro's tail. I didn't have to use a brush. I could have used a blend to create those shapes. I could have drawn those shapes like individually, like we did with the Space Garden. The Space Garden had a very different kind of style to it, and so it made sense to draw all of those shapes for the leaves individually because it was more about the line work. In this case, this is a style that's kind of like appropriate for the rest of the illustration. So Garrett's saying, these days though I make stuff that would be hard to discern it at the same thing made in Fresco or Photoshop. I love Illustrator on the iPad. I do like Illustrator on the iPad. For better or worse, I do most of my sketching on an Illustrator on the iPad because I like the ability to bring it in. Most of my sketches, like if you go back, I think the most recent one that we might have done that involved like really heavily sketching on the iPad was the unicorn. Oh, was it that long ago? I'd have to go back and look at my streams, but I feel the unicorn comes to mind. But anyways, I like to sketch on the iPad. I like doing things that are like more organic shapes on the iPad. And it's the same with any tablet. So if that's another question I get asked a lot, is should I get a tablet? Should I get a graphics tablet? Should I get a Wacom tablet, an iPad, etc.? There are an X Pen, XP Pen. There are so many different ones these days. But my advice is always, it depends. It's very hard for me to answer that question because I started with a Wacom Intuos, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I feel like I've heard it pronounced a million ways, but WACOM. And the Intuos that I had, the Intuos Pro, the Intuos I still think to this day only has the screenless version. So you have a tablet that you connect to your computer, it's pressure sensitive, and you draw with it with a pen. The thing that you kind of have to get used to is that there's a disconnect between like your drawing is separate from what's happening on the screen. So you kind of have to get used to like, I'm drawing here, and what I'm doing here, you're just kind of like looking at your screen while you're doing it. So it does there's like a learning curve there, but it's something to consider. But versus like a Cintiq or the iPad The iPad's very mobile. The Cintiq is very powerful. It gives you another monitor. It's also got more pressure sensitivity. It's also got a lot more cords. It's not very mobile. So things to consider. But the benefit in all of these things, all these tablets, no matter which one you get, is that it gives you the more natural feel of drawing. And it's better for doing things like, in my mind, this is again like entirely my personal opinion and how I use it. It's better for doing things like line work, for doing things like sketching. When I'm doing things like this that are very heavily, like these are all very geometric shapes. This is a very specific style. We actually did start doing some of this on the iPad, and you can see some of that come through in the bonsai. This is this kind of stuff that's easier to do for me on the iPad. This like really organic line work stuff. I think we did the snake plant on there too. Some of the line work for the plants, just the stems. That's all kind of stuff that I would do on the iPad. Maybe we even did these calla lilies. I don't remember. We did some of this on the iPad, I do remember that. But, oh, the olive tree. We definitely did the olive tree and the branches using the blob brush on the iPad. But some of this other stuff like this, when it comes to like making shapes and stuff like that, I prefer using a mouse actually. So for making the little jellyfish air plants, I just draw out a circle, you know, scale from the center, a couple of shapes, and I've got, you know, what I need, change the fill color on them to get different values. For stuff like that, I wouldn't use a tablet. I find it really, really difficult personally to draw and work with shapes and have things kind of like snap together and align really nicely. Even with Smart Guides on, I have a hard time with both the iPad and with a regular, like a tablet connected to the computer. So those kind of tasks I don't really do using my tablet. But it's really up to you. I feel like that was a really long discussion, but I hope in the future when somebody asks me if they should buy a tablet, I'm just going to share a link to like this portion of the stream. I'm just going to pull it out as a separate video and be like, here. I hope that helps. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to get this done before the end of the stream. This is like my last enormous goal. We've got to get this planter done. This one is such a beast. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna start by copying this whole group. Gareth says you could give Sean a script and he can make it. Yeah, Sean's been making all those like shorts. What are they called? They're like YouTube shorts, I think. Short form videos that are like 60 seconds or less that just kind of go over a very specific workflow or tool. I wish that I had the time to make those. They do require, I'm so bad about like video editing stuff, you guys. When it comes to that, like, I need to find a like quick and efficient way to do those. And maybe Sean can give me some pointers on that. They take so much work. I know that they're like super popular. People like love those, but they take, for a 60-second video, you have to like record and edit, and it just takes so much time, and like figure out what size you need everything at. We'll see if we can get this to work. I'm a little bit afraid. It's doing a thing. I put this one off for the end on purpose because it's so huge. It looks really cool with the art brushes, but Cora said you did the one that got loads of views. Yeah, I would love to do more of that stuff, but it is very time consuming. So I did a video where I showed how to make those Cricut sun catchers on my I did it on TikTok, I did it on Instagram Reels, and I got like 30,000 views on that video that I put up which is a lot, but it took me like all day to print. So I had to like print and assemble all of the sun catchers, right? So and the Cricut, like, it's not instantaneous, right? It takes a while to like cut. So I had to like record all the footage while I was going through the process of making them all, and then which in and of itself took several hours. And then I had to take all that video footage, I had to edit it. I actually edited it in Premiere Rush. I'm one of those weird people that prefers Premiere Rush because I just find the editing experience to be a lot easier. And I spliced it all together in Premiere Rush. I shortened it, obviously, like time, sped it up. And then I recorded voiceover over top of all of it, explaining what I was doing at each step. And it took probably 2 days of work just to make one, like, 60-second video. And that would be my whole weekend if I were to make those, which is unfortunate because people really liked that one. But I just don't know that I can dedicate my whole weekend to making Cricut videos. I do have the new setup, so you'll be seeing more Cricut stuff. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe our next big project. Sorry, I'm just kind of blabbering. While this processes and tries to hopefully merge. We may do another Cricut project. I'll think about that for next week. For next week's stream. I might start another Cricut project because I now have the Cricut. I know you can't see this, but so I've rearranged my desk. You might have seen it when I was on Adobe Live. But the Cricut is now, wowee, that's an error. That's whoo, boy. Rest in peace, Illustrator. I can see what happens. Yeah. I'm just gonna delete that whole craziness that I made. And we're gonna try and see if we can preview it. I'm just gonna save it, and we're gonna close it. Everybody's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. But I've got my Cricut behind me now. Yeah, Oliver's saying not enough memory to generate a proper error message. That was something, let me tell you. So I've got my Cricut behind me now. I'm just gonna switch to big head mode because this is just gonna save out, and if I get it back I will I'll show it to you. But okay, so we have the Cricut behind us now, so I can actually do stuff on stream and show the Cricut printing process as well, which could be kind of fun, and do more like hands-on stuff. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So maybe we'll start another Cricut project. I do want to get started on the Society of Sprinkles stuff as well, so we could kind of do a combo, like a Cricut stream with the Society of Sprinkles. Sorry, I'm trying to like babysit this at the same time. Alright, let's do this. I am gonna just close Illustrator. Oh, we didn't get to the generative recolor stuff. Well, if I can reopen it, I'll try. But I'll probably do it without that little planto in there. Unicorn's asking Gareth, did you finally try your wife's Cricut? Yeah, Gareth, let us know. No, it's still in the box. Oh no. Gareth, you should just start using it. I think you should just start using the Cricut. That's what I'm hearing. Peter's gotta go. I hope you all have a great Saturday night. Thanks. Thank you, Peter. It looks like we're back in business. So I'm gonna do view, preview. So I'm just gonna hide that massive plant for the time being. We didn't get to the generative recolor stuff, sadly. I'm gonna try duplicating final and see if we do it just very quickly without breaking everything. Leaving that one crazy plant out. Alright, so we've got a copy. I'm gonna hide everything. I'm also gonna make a copy of building. And this will be kind of like the last thing we do. Okay. Group this. I'm gonna put this on the same layer. So you can use generative recolor on individual individual things as well. So like if I have the building and my plants as separate groups, I can just use generative recolor on one thing. Or if I wanted to just use it on one of my plants to see how it looks, I could do that. So that is an option. But let's select everything. Just give me like 44% or something like that. Let's try 7. Okay. That gives us a pretty good view. And we're gonna go to edit colors. We're gonna go to generative recolor. I'm gonna need some suggestions, otherwise I'm just gonna pick weird things to recolor. Okay, so she was gonna get it out of the box when she went back to work full time, but it hasn't happened yet. She still works from home 3 days. Doing a spin. Mistakes were made. I should have just done this on like one plant, but I decided to go all in. Here we are. Tis the season for beach balls. I mean, yes, it is summer. But also, yeah, beach ball season. Just gonna give it a minute. We're just gonna give it a minute. Like I said, I won't be live tomorrow, because I have been live many days this week, and I need a little bit of a break before I go into next week. But you can always find my schedule here. I'm probably gonna work on getting caught up on some things tomorrow. We'll see how my day goes. But you can always find my schedule here on Behance if you follow me. I post it to social, and I post it every week to, there we go. Let's go with, oh, uh-oh. Oh no! I clicked out of the window. The pain. Anyways, I hate when it like closes the window on me. You can follow me on social. You can follow me on Behance. I post my schedule. Usually on Mondays I try to post it for the next week, and I usually stream Saturdays and Sundays on Behance, Behance, Twitch, and YouTube. Although who knows how long I'll be simulcasting to Twitch, to be honest at this point. But I'm usually live Saturdays and Sundays 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so whatever that translates to in your time zone. But if you follow me, you should get notified when I go live, although, oh, there it goes. There it goes. Rest in peace. You were right, this was too much for, Yep. Okay. Alright. We're not gonna get to generative recolor. Oh my god. This was like I just wanted to get to like this one last thing. So mad at me. Illustrator's so mad at me right now. I need to download more RAM. It did recover my file, so we may be okay. I may just pick like one thing to use this on rather than all of the plants simultaneously, because I think that is causing the issue. I'll just pick a handful of things, maybe. Or maybe we'll do like the background plants and the building. That's what I think I'm gonna try to do. And yes, Corey, thank you for sharing all the links to my social. You can subscribe to me here on Behance and get fun things in the mail, as well as... Oh man, I really broke it. Let's just recolor the background, and we'll recolor the building. I'm gonna set this to be like 37, so we can actually see it. Close this out. I'm gonna just Command H to hide my selection. Add colors, recolor beta. There we go, that's much better. Alright, let's type something in. Let me know if you have any suggestions. I wanna do like autumn sunset, peaceful. Sure. Oh my gosh, I hit that agree button so many times. I don't know why it's not sticking. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. I love the colors. This is making me question my decisions. Although I don't know why it stopped selecting the background. Why it's not selecting the full background, but... I really like that color combination. I would love to see it with like the full background. I don't know why it's keeping the... I wonder if I have it locked, maybe? Honestly, who knows? Let's try hiding it. Nope, I can't. It's not recoloring my the other parts of this. It's a bit odd. I really liked those colors though. Try yellow submarine. It's not picking up the background. It might be some kind of weird bug. But you can see how we could generate. Ooh, I like that. You know, this is making me question whether, or maybe we should have gold. Like gold framed windows instead. I don't know. Lots of decisions to make. The other one that I've been really a big fan of is tropical rainforest. The other one that I've had luck with is nope, I think I broke it again. Ooh, I really like that combination as well. Anyways, so we did get to touch on, we got through, for the most part, everything that I planned on getting through, even though we had to go a little bit past, and we broke Illustrator a little bit today, but, I mean, it's a beta, so it's there to be broken. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I will be back next week. I don't know what my schedule is going to look like, but I will be hosting events in the Firefly Discord. We do events in the Firefly Discord Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sean and I do, and I will be doing Mondays. So I don't know what we're going to be doing over there yet, but if you go join the Illustrator Discord, or not the Illustrator Discord, the Firefly Discord, you can see those events and hang out with us and stuff. So I'm recording saying I missed Friday's chat again. Yeah, and we also have... So, I also do like a little Art Squad Hangout thing in the Illustrator Discord on Fridays. Technically, I'm like live hanging out with you all every day of the week if you really want. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm definitely going to be taking this Sunday off to just kind of like recuperate, catch up. I have to get some stuff done for Peristyle. That's just more like I need to get some work on some like die line stuff, so that's not particularly interesting. Maybe if I get that to a good spot, I can work on that. I think maybe we'll work on some Cricut stuff, either starting a new project or playing with the Society of Sprinkles next weekend. That's gonna be my goal, and we can do some Cricut stuff in the future. So Myra's saying I will try to make an illustration. Thanks to the class, it was wonderful. Yes, if you make anything, Myra, and you want to share it with me, feel free to share it with me on social here on Behance. Sometimes people share it with me in the Discord. And let me know if you want me to show it off on stream. I'm always happy to share people's work. If they make stuff along with me, I'm happy to show it off. Just let me know if you're okay with that, and obviously share it with me. Or, if you post it on social, tag me. I know that some people don't like to share their work publicly, so it's really up to you. No pressure, obviously. If you don't want to share, you certainly don't have to. But I'd be happy to take a look at it. And if you want any feedback, you can also post it in the Illustrator Discord, like Corey shared a link to. And there are mentors over there that'll give you feedback, including me, as well as Katarina and a lot of other great people. So I hope you enjoyed your first Adobe live stream, and I hope you'll be back for more. Because it's the Behance Fam Jam is a great community. There are a lot of great community people here. It's a very supportive place, a very friendly place, and a nice place to hang out with other creatives in the chat. So that's gonna be it for now. Thank you to the mods, Corey and Nick. I've got links in the description to Corey's Crock of Time. It's a food and fermentation community and website you can join. Nick's music, I've got the Fragnum Opus link down there. Go support Nick. And we've got links to Yoann Turpin's music. Yoann, if you dig the jams we got playing in the background, Yoann lets me stream his music in the background of these. And also wrote my intro and outro music. So if you really like my intro and outro music, that was made especially for me. And also, we've got Bliss and we've got Odari, who are also streamers on Behance. I've got links to Bliss and Odari's Behance pages also in the description below, so go follow them. Odari, like I said, streams on the weekend. Bliss, hoping to get back into streaming soon, but they're both awesome people, and you should go follow them anyways, and they help moderate my streams. We also have Umacorn, another streamer in the chat. Gareth, another streamer in the chat. Let me go down the list and just thank everybody. Ashraful, Bliss, Corey, Gareth, Katarina, Myra, Melissa, Nick, Odari, Oliver, Peter, Syed, Stian, and Unicorn. Alright, that's going to be it for now. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. A great Father's Day to all of the folks in the chat. Happy early birthday to Odarius. Odarius' son's birthday is tomorrow. And I'll see you all around. I'll be around. If not, this week, maybe this weekend. Alright, bye everyone.